Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
Brian, you've been wonderful. What did I ever do to deserve such devotion?
That's the wrong question to ask, Iris.
Yes, I guess it is. I've been so terribly lucky. I don't deserve your affection and understanding. All I've ever done is abuse you and lash out at you. But Brian, this time I think I really have changed.
Yes, you have. It shows. I'm glad I came. I had my doubts when Alex Wheeler called and you came on the line.
Oh, Alex. I have to think of some way to apologize to him, to tell him all the things we've talked about.
Well, would it make it any easier if I told him?
No, I couldn't ask you to do that.
You couldn't ask it, but I could offer. All right, then. It's settled. On my way to the airport, I'll stop by the World Building and tell him what you've decided. Goodbye, Iris.
Brian, I'll never forget how understanding and loving you are.
Oh, just barely. Wow, that's gonna be some storm.
Don't you love the cool wind that blows right before a rainstorm? Then the heat builds up. And then it's gone like magic.
Uh-huh. Magic.
Well, how'd you like your tour of the ranch?
I think it was terrific. Here, let me handle that, huh?
Thanks. Are you about ready to run back to the house?
Sure. Oh, rain's starting. Woo! Looks like it's gonna be a real, what do you call it, a gutter washer?
A gully washer.
That's right, gully wash. Oh, I sure hope it doesn't wash any gullies. I've got to drive back to Houston.
Oh, do you have to leave so soon, Roy? Well, I mean, the roads really don't wash away anymore. But you might have a little trouble seeing driving back.
Now that you mention it, Stryker didn't say I had to be back so soon.
Well, then why don't you cash in on that rain check? Kate did invite you, I heard her. You stay. You're not too bored by my company.
I don't think I could ever be bored with your company. I'd love to stay for supper.
Good. Why don't I just hang these up and I'll be back in a minute, okay?
Okay. I can wait. Yes, ma'am. Just lead the way. Okay. You look like something that just dragged in from the swamp.
Don and I just got back from the auction in Houston.
Houston? Yeah, I'm on my way into town now. I'm gonna stay the night with Terry and then make mincemeat out of a lot of city boys with more horsepower than brains. Wanna come on with me?
No,
Why not?
got other things to do.
I never thought I'd hear you say anything was more important than a race. Hey, where'd you get that? It's a 30-30 carbine. It's an old one, too, at that.
Yeah. It's seen some use, all right. It belonged to my daddy and his daddy before that.
That's the rifle?
Yeah. That's the one he used to kill himself.
Hey, Just, I don't know what you're thinking, but...
The marshals who first came to Texas, that's all they had. It was a bedroll, a rifle, and a sense of justice.
Yeah, but they were 500 miles from any court. They had to make their own laws.
I didn't say anything about the law. I was just talking about justice. What am I saying this to you for? You're a peace officer.
Yeah, sure, Justin. I keep the peace. Somebody breaks the law, I haul them in. Doesn't matter who they are.
Even if they're living by another law? Not one written down in the books, but written in blood. In the blood of their fathers, their family.
You mean a blood feud that went out with the frontier?
The frontier isn't gone, Ricky. It's expanded. You know what they say about
You're talking
frontier
crazy,
knowledge,
Justin. Look, don't go off the deep end. I don't want to get a call telling me to pick up Justin Marshall.
The only way you'll ever get a call like that is if I'm broken down somewhere on the highway to Houston.
I mean it, Just.
I know why, kid. Hey. I didn't tell you, did I? I got a job. You know, Reena set me up with Vicki Bellman. Wait till you see me at KVIK-TV.
Well, then you'll be going into Houston. Look, why don't you let me give you a lift? Hey, maybe we need to do some talking.
Nah. I've done all the talking I'm gonna do. I gotta pack and say goodbye to Ginny and Grandma. Hey. Good luck with your race. You make 'em eat your dust.
Yeah, sure, Jess.
Teach 'em respect for the law, kid. And I'll teach Wheeler respect for mine.
Mrs. Marshall. I think maybe there's a way of satisfying everyone concerned. My uncle and all the Marshalls.
Dawn, you're so silky and wet. Now you get on upstairs and get in some dry clothes.
That's all I have left, isn't it, Grandma? Some clothes. They took everything else.
What are you talking about? Here, let me get this off of you.
The auction, Grandma. They sold everything. Everything Daddy and I ever had. And now I guess you want the house, too, don't you?
Dawn!
I thought all the vultures had gone. There are only the bones left to pick. But I guess you want those, too.
Dawn, Mr. Connor's a guest in our house.
I'm sorry.
Dawn, he's come to talk to us about a very generous offer.
No. No, I won't talk about it. Not tonight. All day long they have been carrying away pieces of my life. Well, not anymore. Not now. Please, just not now.
I better go.
I'm sorry, Mr. Connor. Dawn weren't so upset, I'd give her a good talking to.
Ryan, it's not Dawn. It's just her grief.
Of course, I understand that. I should have waited. Well, maybe some other time. Can I, get a rain check on top of a rain check?
Of course you can. You're welcome here anytime.
Thanks, Jane. Hey, I'll see you later, Big Steve.
Bye, Mr. Connor.
Bye. Bye, Mrs. Marshall.
Come on, Mr. Connor.
I'll see you, Ginny.
Bye, Ryan.
Jenny, my girl, that's one fine young man.
I think you're right.
You sure are, Grandma.
Here's to life, to youth.
To the dreams of youth.
You know, I really envy you, Alex.
You mean, for all this? Don't let it fool you. Without those dreams, it would all be hollow.
No, I wasn't talking about your wealth, your power. I've been around a long time. I've seen what those things can do and what they can't.
Well, then what is it you envy?
I envy that shake in your hand. The feeling in your gut that if you don't win this special prize, everything else will cease to matter. I haven't had that feeling in a long, long time.
I didn't realize it showed so much.
It's as clear and as large as that Texas sky out there. You do love her, don't you? You love Iris as deep and as strong as you did all those years ago.
Yes, Iris is my being. Without her, without that dream of her, I think I would have stopped existing. I guess I didn't realize that dream was too much to hope for now.
Well, I wouldn't give up hope, Alex.
Well, did Iris?
I wouldn't rush it. Iris has reservations and fears. But, yes, she's accepted the final divorce decree. She told me to have all of her financial and personal affairs transferred to Houston.
Oh, Lord, it's true. At last. My life, our lives to begin again.
Yes, it's true.
I didn't think it would ever happen.
Well, anywhere else it probably couldn't. But as everyone keeps telling me, this is Texas.
Thank you, Brian. I can't tell you how much this means to me.
I have an idea. I'm just glad that Iris has a chance at real and lasting happiness. And to do whatever I can to help it along.
I'll make her happy, Brian, believe me.
I'm sure you'll do everything in your power to make her happy. But a word of warning, if I may. Don't rush her. Not until you both learn how to handle this new world you find yourselves in.
I won't. I'll try not to.
I'm sure you will. Well, I better get going. I'll miss my flight.
All right.
Good luck to you, Alex.
Thank you. Soon, Iris. We'll be together soon. It's real. Oh, Lord. You can go back. You can recapture the years.
Well, you know how glad I am to hear that you and Dennis are all right, but when are you coming back to Bay City? When I got your call that your plane had turned back and that you're going to stay in Houston a little while longer, well, frankly, I was a little worried. I didn't know what's going on, darling.
Daddy, I'm not coming home.
Iris, I think we must have a bad connection. I thought I heard you say that you weren't coming back to Bay City.
That's right. That's what I said.
What is it, honey? It's not Dennis, is it? Don't you think it's time for you to let go of him? Let him live his own life.
No, Daddy, it's not Dennis. Not this time. It's a long story. I met someone I knew a long time ago. I never told you about him because, well, the joy he brought me was mixed with so much sorrow.
Well, and this person, he's still important to you?
In a way, the only man who's ever been important to me, except you, is Alex.
Alex?
Alexander Wheeler. Oh, Daddy, so much has happened. I just can't tell you all about it. Not in a phone call, but Daddy, he's loved me for 25 years.
I can certainly hear something wonderful in your voice. What about you now? Do you mean to tell me that you've loved him for all that time, too?
Yes, I think I have.
Well, darling, I don't know what to say. I do want you to be happy, but...
But you don't know anything about Alex. I know. Sometimes I feel I've known him always, and sometimes that he's a total stranger.
Iris, this sounds very chancy.
Yes, it is. It's the greatest risk of my life. I think I must be mad to do this, and then I think I would be mad not to.
Darling, you know how much I want your happiness. And despite all the differences that we've had, goodness knows we've had enough of them. And however much space there is between us right now or ever will be, there's a space in my heart that's reserved just for my love of you. But, sweetheart, please be careful. It sounds like that maybe for once you're getting into something over your head.
I know. I won't rush, I promise. I love you, Daddy.
I love you, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Mac?
Yeah. I was just telling him that Brian came in today. You know, before I talked to Brian, I didn't know whether I should stay in Houston or go back to Bay City.
And now you know?
Yes. He brought me the final divorce papers, and He gave me a great gift, Reena. He convinced me to try to find a new life with Alex. Or rather, the life I should have had from the beginning.
So you've really decided to stay here in Houston?
Yes. Well, I must say you don't sound very enthusiastic. I thought you were wildly in favor of my running off with the romantic Alex Wheeler.
Sure. Just don't want to see you get hurt, that's all.
Oh, I'm sure I won't be. Not this time. I'm about to reach out and take the life I've always wanted with Alex.
And now, the next part of Texas.
I was just up in your bedroom and I saw your suitcase packed. You planning a trip? Back to Europe?
No, ma'am. Not so far.
Well,
Just into town. Just a little ways out of your sight.
I'd hoped you'd gotten all that out of your system.
I've gotten the whiskey out of my system. I've been sober long enough to get ashamed of myself.
Oh.
Sitting on my duff, eating off your table. Not bringing in a dime.
That table belongs to the Marshalls and the Deckers. Good times and bad.
Honey, don't you think I know that? But I've got things to do.
You've still got it on your mind, haven't you?
What's that, Grandma?
Alex Wheeler.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, I do. That's like the sun. It'll always be there. Laughing or crying, winning or losing. It'll be there until...
I don't like that. Now, I don't like that a bit. Do you hear?
No.
You reckon to shame me? Are you saying I'd stand by my son's grave and not curse the man that killed him?
No, ma'am, but...
Now, listen. I want you to get your mind straight on this. Your daddy took it upon himself to end his life. He wasn't forced. He wasn't pushed. He wasn't in pain. He wasn't alone 200 miles from anywhere and alone and snake bit. He just lost his nerve. And he destroyed himself.
No. That's not so. That rot. No good.
Now, don't you raise your voice to me, please. And don't you keep trying to put the best face on a bad thing.
My father was cornered. Wheeler wouldn't let him draw a breath. He had no place to turn. And he was tired.
Your father had been tired for 20 years. How could a man draw a breath in that city? Well, he was cornered. From the day he rode in and found himself a tailor who'd make him a suit like they wore in New York. He drove himself for nothing. The things a smart man wouldn't even bother to refuse. Money, big house, place in Houston. He liked that box at the Astrodome. He liked waiters knowing his name. Did you know that? He really liked all those things. God rest his soul.
You're not going to change my mind, Grandma. You know that, don't you?
Not my duty to change your mind, boy. I never had much luck with your father, or your grandfather either. But it is my Christian duty to tell you that you're wrong. If you fixed your mind on killing Alex Wheeler.
I can take care of myself, Grandma.
Not if you're fixing to do wrong. Now, there's no guilt in that man, Wheeler. So Daddy's home now. Let him rest in peace.
Grandma, I dream about it, wondering why I've waited. I know you're tired. I know this isn't your fight. But I see what Wheeler did. And he is going to pay.
You see. Who gave you God's eyes? If I thought your daddy had been done dirty, and the law wouldn't see to it. You think I'd have waited around here for you to sober up and stop grieving? No, whatever you have in mind would already have been done. I'm not tired. Just old. Now, there's not so much to being old. And if you've kept your eyes open, you're bound to have learned a little something.
I guess I'll have to learn my own way, Grandma.
I guess you will. All the marshals have. You know, old as I am, I've never figured out how I let myself get mixed up with the marshals. All of Texas to pick from when I was a girl. And I ended up with marshals.
You could have done worse.
Well, we'll see about that. I'll say later. When you've got hold of yourself and stopped this revenge business.
It's time to go, honey. Max is taking me in. I'll see you soon.
I'll count on that. And Justin.
Yes, ma'am.
Do right. Think it through. Do justice.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm gonna do. Justice.
Hey, sis.
Ricky! Oh, what are you doing in the big city?
Well, I came up for the Harris County stock car races, and I thought maybe you could put me up for the evening so I could go in rested.
I guess I can. What in the world are you looking for?
The ball and chain. You do know it's supper time.
Yes, I do. But sometimes the boss forgets. Hey, how about my treating you to dinner? I think it's about time some of the family met a special friend of mine.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. I'll call Clipper.
Not Clipper Curtis, the halfback for the Oilers.
Former halfback. He doesn't play anymore. He runs the Top of the World Club now. He's really terrific, Ricky. He's...
Terry, will you come in here for a minute, please?
Sure. Uh-oh. That means more work. Come on. Help me unlock that ball and chain.
Terry, will you make a list of interior decorators for me?
Can that wait till tomorrow, Alex? My brother's here, and I'd like to show him around a little.
Oh, of course, Terry. You must be, Ricky, right?
Yes, sir. My sister's been telling you tales about me.
Oh, yeah, all good ones. I'm glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you too, sir. But we have sort of met before. At Mike Marshall's funeral.
Oh, of course, the deputy sheriff. I didn't recognize you out of uniform. I want to thank you for helping me.
That's quite all right. The county pays me to keep order.
Now, it goes beyond that. The Deckers and the Marshalls are very close, and I just want you to know that I regret what happened at the ranch. I only wish I could say that to Justin and that he'd believe me.
If I were you, sir, I wouldn't get close enough to Justin Marshall to say anything.
Is Justin still nursing a grudge?
Well, the only thing he kept back from the sale of his daddy's things was the rifle Mike shot himself with. I don't think he kept it for sentiment.
You don't think he means to shoot Alex?
I don't know what he means to do, but, well, the way I figure it, if Mr. Wheeler knows, it'll be a lot harder for Justin to do anything.
Well, thanks for the warning, Ricky.
It's quite all right, sir. But I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for Justin.
Well, thank you anyway, and I'll take precautions.
Yes, sir. I think that'll save everyone a lot of grief.
Terry, I'm glad to see that your brother is as honest and sensible as you are.
Thanks, Alex. Now, if you're through spreading gloom, little brother, let's go get something to eat.
Yeah, all this talk has made me kind of hungry.
This way. There's a private elevator.
Hey, that's something.
Glad to hear the new government in Tangier values your services so highly, Colonel. But you did perform a very valuable service, didn't you? The deal set then? Good. Right, I'll set up a meeting with Alex Wheeler as soon as possible. Don't worry, Colonel Lacine, I'll be in touch as soon as I arrange the meeting. Bye. Well, there she is. The light of my life.
Well, what brought this on?
Nothing brought this on. I'm just showing you what you mean to me, baby. And maybe I don't do that often enough.
Later, I'd appreciate a lot more of the same. But right now, I'd like you to meet someone. Clipper, this is my little brother, Ricky.
Little? He doesn't look so little to me. Glad to meet you, Ricky. Been hearing a lot about you from Terry.
About how I fell off of my tricycle and cut my head, or has she got me into high school yet?
Oh, Ricky, you know you'll always be my kid brother, even if you are 6 feet and 1/2 inches in stocking feet.
Hey, let's not have any squabbling. I've just got some terrific news, so let's go have a drink.
Sounds good. I could use something to wash down the dust.
Whatever you want, Rick, we've got it. And while you're drinking in the view, Terry and I can discuss a little business.
What business?
Oh, it can wait, honey. Let's go get a drink, shoot the breeze.
Clipper, I want to know what you mean.
I don't want to bore Ricky with the details. All right. I just want to talk to Alex about a big business deal, and I thought it would go a lot smoother if you asked him to go along with my idea, that's all.
Clipper.
Do you want me to go on ahead, Terry?
Nah, let's all go celebrate. What do you say, honey?
I say we talk more about this. Right now.
Come in, Ryan. I've been waiting for you. Have you been able to close the deal on Mike's old house yet?
No, I haven't.
They turned you down?
No, not at all. In fact, Mrs. Marshall seems anxious to get rid of the place. I guess it holds some bad memories for her.
Well, then what?
Well, Don Marshall came in from the auction of her father's things. She seemed pretty torn up about it. And you know Justin's frame of mind. I just figured it'd be the wrong time.
The house is empty then? It's ready for sale?
Mm-hmm. Everything's gone. The key's being held by the bankruptcy court. Listen, I have to tell you the truth, Alex. I don't think Justin and Don Marshall would sell you a burial plot in hell if they thought you wanted it.
There's no hope then.
You really want this house, don't you?
It's been on my mind. I've been thinking about it all day. Iris needs a house.
Well, if you want it that badly, I think there's a way. The land. Now, half of the ranch property belongs to Mike Marshall. It was an inheritance from his father. Now, that makes it fair game for the bankruptcy proceedings.
Unless what?
Unless the chief creditor agrees to isolate it from the bankruptcy.
So whoever pays off the claim against the ranch gets the house in River Oaks?
That's about the size of it. Of course, you have to realize that any reasonable CPA would tell you you're crazy to do it. That ranch land's worth a lot more than that house in Houston.
Not to me, it isn't. All right, I want you to get going. I want you to wrap it up, Ryan. It's important to me and important to Iris.
Iris, honey, I just had that carpet put in last year.
What?
I said you're gonna wear a hole right through the floor if you keep pacing back and forth in the same spot.
Why hasn't Alex called? Ryan left here hours ago. Surely he's talked to Alex by now.
Alex Wheeler isn't a man to talk to.
Oh, you don't think he could be angry with me, do you? I mean, I did tell him a little white lie about Brian holding up the divorce.
No, honey, I don't think Alex would even recognize the little lies, just the big black ones.
Reena, what are you talking about? Don't you know how I feel?
Of course I do. Iris, I don't want you to get overly involved with Alex Wheeler, that's all.
I can't believe you're saying that. When I came back from Alex's yacht, you were ready to see us sail off to Hong Kong.
Yeah, well, I've had time to mull it over, and I really think that you
Something must have come up. There was some big business deal.
Alex Wheeler is a man of many affairs.
Oh, of course. He's terribly important in the oil business. That must be it.
Honey, I just gotta show you something.
Well, what is it?
There's some pictures.
Pictures, Reena. You think I want to look at pictures of some silly horse at a time like this?
These are pictures of a horse of a different color.
Well, all right, let me see them. Oh, that's Alice. Hello.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of Texas.
Alex, I've been waiting for your call. Did you see Brian?
Yes, we had a chance to talk before I went to the airport. He's a very understanding person, Iris.
Yes. He always has been, even when I deserved it the least. Did he tell you what I said?
He said you were staying in Houston, at least for a while. That the divorce was final, that there were no more ties to Bay City. Now we can live our lives together. Nothing will stand in our way.
I can almost believe that now, Alex. But I was so worried you took so long to call.
I'm sorry. I was waiting for some information there, something I want to show you. But I wasn't sure I could do it.
Well, Alex, what else could you show me? I've seen the world building and your yacht.
Well, it's something I want to do for you. Could I send my car over for you tomorrow? We could talk over my idea here, and then take a drive.
Yes, of course.
It's settled then. Tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, darling. You wanted to show me those pictures.
No, honey, I don't think you want to see some pictures of an old horse. Not now. I wouldn't take that look off your face for anything in the world.
Does it really show that much?
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to need any lights in Houston tonight, not with the glow on your face.
You know, Reena, I think this may work for us.
I really hope so, Iris. I really hope so.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.